suburban sprawl. So what we've got now is almost like the city model of suburban sprawl plonked onto prime agricultural land.
Yeah, and we've got prime agricultural land, we've got a highway cutting right through it, separating that land from the lake. And then water becomes an issue. You know, a lot of farmers have been cut off from the water source. And the best land in Ontario is paved over. And we've got to somehow stop that and make sure that people realize how crucial and important all this land is.
There also seems to be a lot of land that now we've come to a point where it's a desirable place to live. Housing is brought up by having a lot of housing, desirable housing. We now have elevated land prices.
Right.
And so there's countless examples of really terrific farms around here that I'm sure lots of people would just love to buy, but the land price is so expensive.
Yeah.
So it's virtually impossible to make a profitable farm from it because the land value is so high.
The initial capital investment on the land is really, really high. So the payback with the margins we're working under currently is a 40, 50-year payback. And the reality of it is, in today's society where everything is immediate now, all businesses work on a 1 or 2 year, cycle, that we can't, no one will let you invest in a piece of property that will take 50 years to pay off. There's no bank will give you money at that, because they're going to say, well, no, we want our money tomorrow. We don't want to get it 50 years from now. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. You've got beautiful land that will produce beautiful crops, but we can't access that.
That's true. That's true. I wonder whether the kind of thing that's happening now, and one of the future possibilities are these community-supported agriculture, where people basically invest in the land. It's almost like a lease.
Right.
You pay up front for a season's worth of produce, and then the farmer has that. It's almost like a futures trading. I wonder whether there's a possibility for that helping us out.
I think there is. I also think that it's such, because of all the electronics, and I think the era we live in, people are forced to work 2 jobs to pay off all these toys. And then what gets swept under the carpet is their free time that they would like to work in the garden, work on these other community-based gardens. And it's easier to go to the store and buy a jar of peaches than it is to go buy an 11-quart of peaches and slice them, peel them, and jar them yourself. It's all conveniences, and we don't see young people coming in to buy these peaches for canning anymore. We see older people who've always done it, and it's tradition. It's very few, so we're getting a few more every year, but it's still, the numbers are very low. And I think once people realize they can preserve their own fruit year-round with their freezer, their can, or making jam, they're going to realize, wow, I can get fresh fruit all year round from Ontario, which is what we used to do 50 years ago.
It has really gone out of fashion.
They're used to going to the store and getting strawberries year-round. Every single day you can get a strawberry, a raspberry, or a peach. So the value that people place on these pieces of fruit is so minimal because it's taken for granted. So I think it's important that the younger generations, the kids, they have to realize that this stuff cannot be taken for granted. One day we'll have a global food shortage. There's more houses if farmers can't afford to do it, and all of a sudden the countries that used to give us their fruit for really cheap are going to start saying, hey, you need our fruit? Pay up.
Well, I know that happened last winter when Florida had that deep freeze.
Right.
I forget the statistics, but there was quite a period of time when cherries were unavailable. You could go to lots of stores and there were no cherries, and I wonder whether that kind of thing is what we're going to have to face in order to change.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. You need a couple scares for people to realize. It's like when the gas prices spike. Some people realize, well, we should probably carpool, we should do this, we should do that. But then after a little while, they forget, and they kind of go back to their old ways. But we needed something permanent. We need some incentive for people to always want to buy fruit when it's in season and stock up their freezer, their cupboards, their basements with this stuff. And they can, like all winter long, my mom used to make canned peaches, so all winter long, my brother and I would grab a jar of peaches after hockey. And that was the best treat. It was better than ice cream. I mean, it was great. And it's fallen out of fashion. You've got to get back into it.
On peaches and ice cream.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
So it's
frozen.